Yeah, you are, yeah. So we're back here live at the University of Warwick for our penultimate game of the European Youth Touch Championships. From 10 nations to just 2, France and England still to play, from 44 teams just to 4. And now it's time for the national anthems of both nations.
Please stand standing for the English national anthem.
So just 2 games left to play between France and England. We start, of course, in the men's category. After 2 matches, it was a 12-6 win to England and then a 15-6 to England. So they are the favourites. They have already won the Test match series, so this is an opportunity just to take in some excellent touch. And your commentator is Joe Wright.
Thank you, Will. I'm thoroughly looking forward to watching what the next generation of touch has to offer from a men's 20s perspective. We've already seen plenty of this men's 20s side representing at Vichy in the men's opens categories, specifically the likes of Ollie Simon, Will Stockdale, Ethan Gallagher, Archie Devlin, Sam Dixon, Ellis Pearce, Seb Conahan. It really is a talented men's 20s team that go tooth and nail against every opposition, and great opportunities here for the French men's 20s to hone their skills, earn their craft, working against the who's who of the next best thing that England touch has to offer. Less than a minute away from tap-off. In men's 20s, we'll be looking to turn the favour back into French hands after the boys' 18s came through a phenomenal victory against England boys 18s in a game that truly lived up to the hype and delivered some magical moments of touch. We're sure to see more of those. It'll be France with the tap to get us underway, coming up against some of the most experienced young players England have to offer. This is a far from unfamiliar sight for many people, whether you've watched touch religiously over the past years or whether you're new to the sport that we know and love. This England men's 20 side really have all of the gifts you could possibly ask for. France with a big task in front of them, but you know one thing about the French, they won't shy away from anything. Long ball option off the first attacking set, just dying short of that far side winger. Our first look at this dynamic English transition, Wolf.
Yeah, hi Joe, welcome to it. This England team's so strong. I watched their first game of 3 test matches yesterday afternoon. They'd already beaten France twice in the friendly, so they're really going for their 5th win here. And as I said down below, just a chance for us to really enjoy the standard on show. Goodness me, what a score.
What a start that is. Harry Courts finishing in the corners. The familiar combination, Sam Dixon and Ethan Gallagher pulling strings in the midfield, and Zach Slade stitching it all together. And we were remarking a little bit earlier on in the day, saying how exciting is it for this England men's 20 side to be lining up against arguably the best player Europe has to offer right now in Ethan Gallagher, who has only been playing touch for 2 years, but is hitting his stride and dominating in any team that he turns up in.
Yeah, he brings a lot of experience to the England team, and I think they really appreciate it. I actually asked him, of course, in between the mixed open games, why he's playing, and essentially he says, look, I love playing touch. I always want to improve. I throw myself 100% into everything, and I want to bring the experiences I have. You know, I was a little fish in a big pond, and now he's a big fish back into a pond he knows very well, you know. So, yeah, it's great. And France as well, you know, they had guys in their 18s team who've been playing men's open and mixed open, so it's great to bring that experience forward.
It absolutely is, and France looking to go over. Good defensive touch made by Theodore Tyler Lowe over on that far side wing. And France looking to maraud through this English defence. There's Braun checking open side towards Constant. Constant feeding Braun. Unfortunately, that pass just falling ever so slightly short. And one of the most impressive things about this England side is the way that they transition, the depth in which they run, the pace in which they've got, the lovely checks around the players. And we're going to see a lovely example of that here. Lovely slick hands there. The pass from Archie Devlin left a little bit to be desired, and yet it was picked off with ease.
Yeah, England's a class, aren't they? Class act at this under-20s level. I mean, France obviously stacked the under-18 category with some top players looking for big results, but I mean, just look at the ease in which England cut through.
Yeah, Ollie Simon this time getting over. 2 tries in 2.5 minutes for England, already looking ominous for France. England are going to want to show out in front of their support. There was play on calls down the far side, lovely check back on the inside, and Ollie Simon with a diving finish.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ollie Simon, to be playing in this competition as a guy who was player of the match in the men's open final at the Euros. That just says a lot about the level that England were intending to bring to this tournament, and they've got the success to show for it.
Yeah, and speaks on just how talented this young squad is. They're playing so much touch. Here's Ethan Gallagher. And Gallagher be doing double setting work in the midfield, working alongside the very talented Ben Luckraft wearing number 12, someone we shouted out as a ones to watch at the National Series, now turning up here at the Youth European competition. There's Zach Slade. Luckraft, skip pass over to this near side for Lachlan Hill.
I mean, isn't it great that we can pick out a player for the Nationals and then he can turn up for England on the national stage a few days later?
Oh, Luckraft with a lovely ball into Lachlan Hill, not quite taken. Really good defensive shot coming from Remy Blanchard. And now France off to their subset, just having to come back to the mark. It's a tricky thing, isn't it, when you're playing test matches and you've already lost a couple, the series is over, but often it can bring through the best of you when you're playing with nothing to lose.
Yeah, this is free ball, you know. This is a fresh set of 6, if you want, for France across this whole 40-minute play. And it's on the big screen again, where they played better, actually, against England here on the big screen than they did over on the outside pitches. So they rise to the occasion.
Split a play here for Ethan Gallagher. Lovely chopping hole, and yet another score. This time Zach Slade. And you are seeing the class that this men's 20s outfit has in spades. Lovely chopping line from Slade and Gallagher. Just, you know, it's so rare to see someone so young barely ever make a bad decision.
Yeah, and Slade too, making his debut in this age group. It's good to see him kick on. You know, I think it's such a talented under-20s group that, I don't know, I think it'd be quite an intimidating environment to move into, not because they're that kind of personality, just because of the level of touch they can play. And yeah, he's adapted really well. Yeah,
I completely agree, especially when you've got some of the most talented players England has to offer shaping up with you. There's a fresh set of 6 here, touched in flight from England, good honesty on the line. And also, this opportunity allows players to step into roles that they maybe wouldn't have, the likes of Will Stockdale, leadership role here, making a good link touch. However, link punish opportunities, diving at the line, and that might be the opening score for France. Although it's seen off, good touch by Stockdale on Benjamin Braun.
Yeah, look, France have scored 6 tries in both their previous meetings with England, and that might be the first. Oh, just on the toes. But yeah, we are expecting to get over the line here quite a few times.
Yeah, fresh set of 6 here again. It's just not able to be picked off. 12 touches to defend here. And another set of 6. It's good work, Benjamin Braun having a dabble at the line, working hard, trying to create inroads through this English defence. England won't mind batting the ball down on first touch consistently. They'll be backing themselves to put the nudge on and turn it over. There's Arthur Ferry. Braun. Now Ferry down for Braun. Braun picking up against the grain, ripping long, connecting with the wing, and there is the opening French score. Yanis Fayard getting it down in the corner. Lovely interplay between Braun and Ferry, creating inroads around the outside of this English defence.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably France's 2 best players in this division, Arthur Ferry and Benjamin Braun. They both look brilliant, and plenty of space for the winger there. Good take, needed finishing.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Ollie Simon, Pearce, Sam Dixon sweeping. Well, we know what's coming. Lovely flash pass to the wing. And Sam Dixon's a player who's just gone from strength to strength and is one of these leadership figures in this men's 20 side, and it's finished off expertly by Joseph Banks in this near side wing.
Really good take actually by Banks. I know that Dixon spat that one away with real pace on it, but had to get down low. Good take from Banks.
Again, demonstrating the quality that this men's 20 side has on offer. Splitter platform here for France. Lovely momentum, throwing long. Unfortunately, just dying short of the far side wing. A really nice set piece move. That pass just needed an extra few yards on it.
Yeah, you know, France play with ambition. This is really similar to the standard you'll see at Men's Open, I think, for both these nations, especially with the revolution that's come.
Yeah, could not agree more. Here comes dynamic young Rory McAuliffe scooping. Lovely rip there from Stockdale. Oh, link hole was gaping open, and Seb Connahan just flies through. Easy work in the end. And Stockdale dishing, Devlin stitching it together. And Connahan finishing. I mean, that's a pod that we were calling at Nationals, and that we would call in any facet of touch, whether it's opens or as we see here in the men's 20s. And the quality is just unbelievable. Yeah,
Connahan does some cool stuff, and shout out to Xavier Connahan as well, who's also playing here this week, but really impressive stuff from England again.
A long ball rip, not quite able to be taken again. Arthur Ferry.
Sent the cameraman though up top.
And that'll be ball down and turnover. 8.5 minutes left to, gone in this first half. England with a 4-score advantage. And just over the past couple of minutes, the sting's been taken out of this one.
I mean, it's a rapid rate of scoring, and these hands are brilliant again from England. They make the transition look very easy. But
oh, we've got a proper foot race here, and no one's going to catch him. And why take touches if you can just burn around the outside? Harry Courts with a brace.
Yeah, that is some try. It's just the rate of scoring, Joe, and I think it's really difficult for France to, create any sort of momentum if every time England have a set, they seem to be challenging, and I mean, that's quite an extreme example of it.
Yeah, Harry Courts hanging around the outside, but again, it's this familiar English DNA, realigning, playing what's in front of you, trying to attack space rather than manipulating people. It's a dynamic new policy adopted by the Opens, and now also this men's 20 side. I mean, we've seen it for every English outfit out here at the Youth Nationals, or Youth European Championships. Play on call through Connahan and finished in the corner. Well finished. It's Remy Blanchard.
Yeah, look, France, keep at it. You know, it's good to see them battering back into the game. I think this should be a high-scoring one because, as he said, the chains are off for both of these nations now. They can just have a crack at the line.
And also, live stream game adds that extra little bit of impetus. Teams wanting to show out here on live stream as we see Devlin working alongside McAuliffe. There is Archie Devlin. McAuliffe, Dixon sweeping. There is Sam Dixon. It's absolutely fizzed into his hands from Archie Devlin. Just has to come back to the mark. Referees allowing them to retake the roll ball. Dixon. Getting us back underway, Sam Dixon. A 32 long here for Archie Devlin. Stutter step, beats one, beats two. Late pop over towards Sam Dixon. Archie Devlin, running out of adjectives to describe him. Phenomenal player, lovely decision-making policies, and just spots Sam Dixon in acres of space. Easy put down in the end.
Yeah, look, 6 England players have scored 8 tries or more. Dixon's in that category now. That's his 9th, and if they haven't played a lot of games, that's only in 6-7 fixtures. They've played with each other.
Quality all throughout this team. Well, speaking of quality, is the dynamic duo Arthur Ferry and Benjamin Braun. Ferry, late pass back inside to Braun, but an offside penalty. Our penultimate game of the day. Men's 20s. The women's 20s coming up. I quite liked your term, Rick, at the Touch Le Crunch.
Yeah, too right. I mean, France, England, it's probably the 2 most well-developed nations in Europe. England, of course, the only tier 1, but Ireland pushing some categories. Wales is kicking on, but in terms of across the board, it is France, England in most finals.
Absolutely, and there's a ball down, unfortunately, there. Early turnover. Ollie Simon, get us underway, and here's Pearce. Lovely skills, feeding over towards Simon. Simon coming down, setting off some really nice footwork for this subset, and there's Sam Dixon shifting through gears, giving the extra pass away, and it's a first half hat-trick for Harry Courts. A hat-trick in 12 minutes. Dixon's assisted him twice now.
He's chasing that top scorer role for England. That's his 12th try. I'll give you 3 guesses at who's the top scorer in this team. I don't think you'll get it, actually. Underrated player who's topping the list.
Ooh.
That's a good clue.
I wonder.
Theodore Tyler Lowe.
Oh,
13
nice.
to his name.
Unreal. It doesn't surprise me that the wings are benefiting and topping those score charts. Sam Dixon getting over to make a nice touch, bringing up the 6 in change. I think it's a testament to just how talented these ball-playing middles and links are for this men's 20s team, as Sam Dixon looks to run a quick away set, conditioning this French defence to stay nice and honest, although there's a loss of control, turnover. So France re-establishing themselves in England territory.
Not quite as interesting as who France's top scorer is, which is obviously Benjamin Braun, who was on 11 before this game.
Yeah, he looks to be a different gravy. There's Braun and Ferry. And flick touch is Ferry. Just positioning Arthur Ferry, then getting the ball down. Benjamin Braun scooping, driving, getting that ball away. Good defensive touch.
Really like that line, actually, from France. Close, though.
Braun. Ferry feeding over towards Braun. Right foot step from Benjamin Braun, but Ethan Gallagher stays true to his task defensively, brings up the turnover. There's probably a reason why Ethan Gallagher is why they're regarded as one of the best next aspects thing here in England touch. Good roll ball skills as well. Dixon feeding out to Lachlan Hill. Hill platforming well. Conahan latching. Familiar role there for Seb Conahan. Good platform here for McAuliffe. And then Arthur Ferry has to slap that ball down.
Yeah, he's a player with senior experience in the opens category. Not quite as much of it in this French team, actually, as you'd think. But yeah, another really top player to bring down to this division.
And it helps the rest of the team grow as well when you've got players who've got playing experience at the very highest level touch has to offer. And speaking of, there's Archie Devlin trying to get outside, and lovely chopping line from Will Stockdale. A covering touch was made. Stockdale's got to come back to the mark.
I mean, that's an unbelievable covering touch. Really good defence, and even at this big scoreline getting racked up by England, France still working really hard.
Oh, Connor and Archie Devlin with a quick pass mid-air. There's a reason why Every time he's on the pitch, people get excited. Archie Devlin, look at that for a bit of skill.
And 4 tries for Harry Courts. That actually does bring him up level on the scorers list, 13 from now.
And I imagine, considering that the characters that this English side has in there, that there will almost certainly be a competition going on between Courts and Tyler Lowe about who can get the most scores in this team. Penalty ball here for France, 10-metre advancement. See if France can get over, get for their 3rd score. That one just bobbling loose. I think the referee's just having a word with Sam Dixon. There's another penalty, this time in the ruck. And a forced sub here for Sam Dixon, and France want to go quickly. Got the man advantage for just a moment.
Yeah, Alois Nicole, really good player for France, and that's such a nice pass.
Well worked, back on the inside. Lilian Tata getting over for France's 3rd. And they just capitalise on the lack of numbers for England. Ollie Simon was up trying to rectify the mismatch, but Tata with a lovely line.
An ejection for that seems like a tough call, to be honest, Joe. But don't mind it if it allows France to be a bit creative.
No, I agree. I think it's also a bit of a collector's item. Sam Dixon is a... He's not had many 4 subs in his time. Ethan Gallagher positioning well. Zach Slade, Gallagher picking, stepping, ripping.
That is just so casual. It's 5 up for Courts now. That takes him ahead on 14. But I mean, I can't believe how easy England are making this look against what is essentially one of the best men's setups in Europe.
This is just phenomenal. I mean, it's Ethan Gallagher. What more can you say? We've seen him for the Hoods, we've seen him for Midlands at Nationals, we've seen him for England Men's Open, where he was arguably player of the tournament, and now we're seeing him in the men's 20s.
Bit of Bucks touch, maybe.
Bit of Bucks touch, maybe. I mean, he's only been playing touch for 2 years. He's not even in the uni series, so
hasn't even made it there yet. That's unbelievable.
Absolutely ridiculous. The future is certainly in safe hands as France trying to create some inroads. Lovely late pass away. Unfortunately, just stepping out of the field of play. And France have to come back and try and put a defensive nudge on.
Yeah, look, it's clear that neither of these sides are perhaps hitting 100%, but I think that what's the testament here is because England, even when they're not going at 100, they're going at 80, 90 in this fixture, they're still so accurate.
Oh,
and so
my
strong.
word.
I mean, you know, pickups like that, unbelievable. Look at them go.
Oh, and now Stockdale's gone, and no one will stop Will Stockdale when he's got a clean patch of grass in front of him. But what about that absolutely magical pickup off the bootlaces to set him free? And when England are playing like this, they're incredibly hard to stop. Look at this. The pass from Devlin is so low, and he has absolutely no right as Lachlan Hill to pick that one off, and then Stockdale sees clean grass in front and makes no mistake.
Look, admirable effort on the chase, but England are tearing them apart here. This is unbelievable. And the thing is, and it was a similar result in the women's 18s, which of course England won. They just look so casual when they're doing very impressive things, and I hope it didn't come across then or now as a criticism of their style of play, because they're obviously doing brilliantly. They're both going to win their games.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And in fact, I was having a little conversation whilst we're in between these 20-minute breaks in between our games, and talking about how sort of the 15s and 18s categories are much more competitive than the 20s, generally speaking, as a vast generalisation. And one of the people I was talking to said, well, I think it's a really good example of just how far ahead England are down that developmental track, and all the other countries are getting there. They are just a couple years behind, which is evident in the 15s category being just so competitive, which is wonderful to see for the growth of our sport. Is France go into their line attack opportunities? 30 seconds left to go in the half. The blast of a referee's whistle just brings that one to a close for a moment. And a penalty for offside. And who else do France bring on other than Benjamin Braun and Arthur Ferry? Here is Ferry. And that is half time. Unfortunately, Braun and Ferry won't have an opportunity to influence the game again. Their 3 scores benefiting from the work of Arthur Ferry and Benjamin Braun, but the 11 for England really demonstrating the dominance that England has in this division. Obviously 2 test matches already gone. 2 test matches in favour of England, and it seems like the third is going to follow in a similar vein. And what a wonderful opportunity it is for this young English side, the men's 20s, and for the players who haven't quite broken into that open setup yet, to play alongside the young boys in that opens team. The likes of Seb Conahan, Sam Dixon, Archie Devlin, Ethan Gallagher, Will Stockdale. It's a phenomenal opportunity that really does highlight just how important this tournament is, generally speaking, for everyone's development, not just the victories that are out there. Half-time here, England 11, France 3.
If you're a supporter, why not have an ice cream, have something to eat before you go. Sammy's and Big Mel.
And Wolf Kelmsley is down on pitch side. He's taking us through this half-time break.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I'm just trying to interrupt one of my favourite aspects of international touch, which is the pilgrimage, which happens at half-time when all of the French and English supporters swap. So, for example, you know, we're just going to drift across here and just try and catch any of these English players on the run. So, you know, here we are, live at the Euro Touch Nationals the last day. Just going to have a quick word, if that's all right. We're going to have a little chat. So, who are you here supporting today out of the England contingent?
Well, I've got mixed 18s, I've got women's 20s and men's 20s.
What's the last name again?
Hill and Pierce.
Yeah, that'll be it. There's plenty of coverage here across England Day. I mean, just how happy must you be then with everything that's gone on so far at this Youth Euros? And as someone with so much investment at various teams, how do you think England have done in hosting this tournament?
They've done amazingly well. There's a lot of medals, a few disappointments, few misses on the golds, but I think overall it's been a fantastic tournament and brilliant weather and great organisation.
Perfect. Better let you continue on the old pilgrimage left to right, which happens here. It is just so interesting to see them walk all the way across to get behind the try line in the direction in which the team are attacking. If you're wondering why you see so many of them swap ends, that's what the cause is here. Really good vibes down here pitch side. We've still got 20 more minutes of this game, which is purely a celebration of talent on show, with the result wrapped up in this men's 20 division. And then, of course, afterwards, don't go anywhere because we've got the women's tie as well. I'll throw you back up to Joe Wright, who I think is almost ready to go.
Yeah, thank you very much, Will, for this half-time break, allowing France an opportunity to just problem solve some troubling areas and also really applaud the good work that they've done specifically in their line attack. For England, it's business as usual, out on pitch, ready to go already. There's no waiting around for this England men's 20 side, a side that is playing for the love of the sport, getting extra reps in, and how wonderful as well to have all 3 divisions that Touch has to offer, men's, women's and mixed, represented here at the 20s all the way through to the 18s and 15s. And what has been a spectacular European Youth Touch Championships here at the University of Warwick. The quality has been absolutely magical. We cannot believe some of the standards, specifically in that 15s category. A wonderful celebration with it being the first of its kind here at the Youth European Touch Championships. And to have it so full is a wonderful thing for our sport. England firmly in the driver's seat, France with brilliant opportunities, and from a French perspective, it's a good opportunity to hone your skills a little bit more. Steel sharpening steel, the old adage. Be plenty of chances in this second half for France to get more scores on the board, but for England, with it being their last game of the day, our penultimate game of the day, they'll be looking to show up and show out and give the fans down the bottom end something to scream about. This pod on the field certainly has the quality to do that. Conahan, Simon, Dixon. Terrifying prospect for anyone coming up against them. And you see Ellis Pearce lingering there over on the far wing. Either position changes or we're going to see something quite exciting off this tap-off move. Conahan, Ollie Simon, here is the Pearce wing sweep. Pearce platforming here for Sam Dixon. Instead, Ollie Simon picking up against the grain. Oh my word. Oh my word. Theodore Tyler Lowe with another one. And if you want to watch this, if you want to learn how to manipulate defences, you look at the wing sweep tap-off move straight out of the Gabe Pennington playbook.
And he's got level on the old try-scoring chart again. So I left a bit short there, Joe. I thought with this being the only game to play, they might perhaps leave the half-time as long as they did. But England clearly didn't need the breather.
No, absolutely not. England 12, France 3. They got off to the races nice and early. It's a dominant performance so far. Referees on field just having a little chat. And it's play through and try time. In the second half, it's a try apiece. France replying early. You see it here on the replay, lovely split of play. I think they just adjudged offside defenders, play through, try.
Yeah, good score for France on the split of play. I mean, we've seen Wales under 15s, men and women, boys and girls, both give it a crack. And Chris Simon quite hilariously said that they've only just brought that in at the men's open level. So just can't believe how quickly the game of touch is developing.
Joke, isn't it? Speaking of a joke, there's Sam Dixon. That'll be given 6 more and offside.
Good work for Leo Mash, by the way, who grabbed the French score, and that's his 5th of the tournament.
They're doing a very commendable job. I was talking at half-time about steel sharpening steel. A really good opportunity for France to hone their skills against the who's who of European touch. As of right now, Ethan Gallagher feeding towards Sam Dixon. Dixon getting touch. Really good link snipe. This time by Sobrouillard.
Yeah, look, there's a lot more men's open players in this England side than this particular French team. So, you know, when they meet again, oh my goodness, what a line.
My word, Will Stockdale.
When they meet again in the Euros or at the World Cup even, in New Zealand, they'll be better prepared.
Absolutely, and Ethan Gallagher looking at the French defence and saying, well, if you forget about Sam Dixon, we're just going to fizz the flat pass across the face of your defence to Will Stockdale, who is hole crashing perfectly.
Like I said, you know, Sam Dixon's a big guy, but he was a fly half back in the game of Union, so got such a good skill set.
Yeah, Dixon is an absolute pleasure to watch. I can also testify that he was a pleasure to coach.
He's also annoyingly quite a nice guy.
Yeah, I know, a little bit of everything, right? There's got to be something wrong with him. There's Arthur Ferry just retreating. Braun, link punish, back on the inside to Ferry. That'll be try time. Referee's happy with the grounding, getting on the inside of Ellis Pearce.
He's a bit northern, I guess, Joe. Maybe that.
It's not very nice, is it? You were trying so hard then to think of something to say and to bring Dixon back down to a human level, and as far as you got was northern, which I take personal offence to. The dangerous pod comes back onto the field. Here is Devlin, McAuliffe, back to Devlin, danger time, Lookcraft platforming, Devlin stepping back against the grain, dummying, late pass, Stockdale just strolling, and actually getting caught. It was a bit too nonchalant from Will Stockdale, and Archie Devlin's giving him a bit of an earful.
And he's missed out on his hat-trick there. Really good defence from the French.
Tell you what, if he doesn't get his hat-trick now, he really will be ruining that, as Devlin feeding McAuliffe instead of McAuliffe making no mistakes. And if I was England men's 20s coach, I'd be making Will Stockdale double set and defend that now for his complacency.
Yeah, look, Stockdale, mixed open finalist with England at the Euros a few weeks ago, and now trying to shift over into the men's category, try a different version of touch, and he wouldn't have got away with that in the mixed open, that's for certain.
Oh, absolutely not. Split a platform here for France, feeding over towards the open side. Lilian Tatar, link punish, diving at the line, great defensive touch. Zach Slade staying true to his work.
Still on it in defensive formation, England. I think it's pretty hard to keep the standards up when a scoreline like this opens up so early. I mean, the previous games were 12-6 and 15-6. We're nearly there already with 15 minutes still to play as Sam Dixon nicks it off.
Oh, Ethan Gallagher tucking the ball up into one hand, and Ethan Gallagher will go all the way. And this is a combination that I think will be calling for years to come. Sam Dixon and Ethan Gallagher. Well, it was 2v6 in that set, and unfortunately for France, the 2 for England, world class.
Yeah, but this is tough. This is tough for France. This is tough for FIT because they wanted to put this game on as the big showcase. But unfortunately, with France's second defeat, the test was lost. And anyone who's ever watched enough cricket or international rugby knows that if you get to the third test and it's already over, you might not see the most sparkling performance from both sides, but still, it's cool stuff going on. You know, France are creating nice opportunities and they're taking risks, and that either creates space for England or leads to nice scores. So,
Yeah.
all in all, a good aspect for us neutrals.
And it's a good showcase as well, right, with the next logical progression for these boys being into the open setup, whether that's mixed or men's. So it's a really good showcase, and Will Stockdale shifting through gears. He will get his hat-trick score, although if he slows down too much, someone will catch him again. No mistake this time. There's the 3 for Stockdale. Intercept full length. It was a commendable chase down from Benjamin Braun, but unfortunately for him, Stockdale had a little bit too much.
Yeah, he's another player into double figures for England now with the hat-trick. Really good intercepts, and you don't see them that often in touch, but I think England are clearly looking for them here because they know that there'll be some mental and physical fatigue out there for France.
I think as well, they know France have got to play really flat to the line to create scoring opportunities, so there is that aspect of high risk, high reward. Lovely pick up, nice flash pass against the grain. There's a lot to like about the work of Lilian Tattard, who's obviously ball playing extremely well, as we see another long ball rip. Just coming up against the one of the best defences the country has to offer.
Yeah, this is really impressive. And as well, a pretty complete performance by England. When they make their changes, you don't see a drop in quality. It's just like the women's 18 side that have performed earlier. You know, they kept rotating through. Towards the end of the game, they were trying new combinations, and yet standards didn't drop one bit.
No. Judging from the coaching staff over on the far side, standards will be one of the more important aspects that they're looking at. Here is Ethan Gallagher coming down in front of Sam Dixon, although he was, until he stutter-stepped and bought an extra 5 metres. Here's Gallagher. Slade. Dixon was looking to scoop and sweep, but inside check over towards Zach Slade. 5th touch now, no touches remaining. Dixon looking for switches, dummying, getting into the in-goal area, diving touch from Tattard. He's put a really good account of himself out there.
Yeah, look, there's strong performances from France because they're good touch players. This is just such a one-sided performance from England in terms of the scoreboard. And, you know, regardless of the fact that we know it's been relatively end-to-end, it's the scoreboard that will be there on the FIT website for years to come, and people are going to remember this as a really strong performance by England.
Absolutely, and I think maybe a little bit of evening of the scales from an English perspective after the boys' 18s fell on the final hurdle to probably the best boys' 18s team I've seen ever, and that French outfit is steeped with ability, so maybe this men's 20s are going, don't worry, fellas. We'll put a showcase out here and make you feel just 1% or 2% a little bit better.
Yeah, if this doesn't make any England 18 fans feel better, I don't know what will. Look at them go.
Rip roaring through the defence once more. There's Tyler Lowe. Apologies for a shake of the camera. There's a frustrated Frenchman kicking a water bottle.
Yeah, that's 15 now in the tournament for Tyler Lowe, which is a great tally. It's a really good finish.
Yeah, 15 for the big number 15. If he's got any poetic nature about him, he'll step off the field to play for the rest of the tournament.
Oh, surely this is as many as he goes. Could have worn the number 99. Like his French compatriot, actually, in this 20s team.
There's nice interplay between Ferry and O'Dare. Joseph O'Dare trying to get involved. Arthur Ferry straightening, ripping long. It's touched in flight, and it's also taken. He can't quite believe his luck, and there's a double pump in there as well.
I mean, when it rains, it pours for France, you know. I mean, the deflection in any other world is a fresh set of 6, but it popped up so kindly for Courts.
It did indeed, and Stockdale will be looking to come onto the field again. Connor home with a really nice roll ball. In fact, England want to run Redlands. They get caught. Lookcraft decides to just take the settler. Here is McAuliffe. Devlin, Archie Devlin, feeding to Dixon. Dixon caught.
You know, on Sam Dixon, and on the northern thing I was talking about there, you know, it is interesting to see where the makeup of England touch has come from, because obviously traditionally
when it was first brought to the UK, you know, I'm under the impression it was an expat sport, you know, a lot of London influence, and that's where you have the strong London clubs. That's where the first Galaxy club was founded in this country, you know, in London. But nowadays, with Nottingham being a hub of touch, which isn't purely because of Chris Simon, but he had something to do with it, and you know, because someone like Dixon, who originally comes from that sort of Manchester area, you know, where you played a lot of touch as well, Joe. It's interesting to see the diaspora of England touch spread so far, and surely that has something to do with why they're so strong. Compared to like Switzerland in the Euros, where, you know, Bern was their big touch hub, or in France, where there are Paris teams, but also, you know, Strasbourg has a strong club link-up. England, it feels like anywhere you go, there's a new Galaxy team in the southwest. So there's teams in Southampton, all the way across to London, and then all the way up north.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the northern teams growing and developing, and also relying quite a lot on the young players coming through, which is quite important as well, you know, over on the far side. And not only players, but over on the far side, coaching. Cooper Bainbridge coming out of the NQ Rebels setup, aging out, but also still heavily involved in the team setups. You make a very good observation that touch across the country is growing.
Also, I don't want people to think I actually have a problem with the Northerns.
No, it's not like you gave me a complex about being too northern whilst we were travelling through London.
No, of course not. We're the penultimate game. There's no point getting cancelled now.
Fresh set of 6 here for France. They're going to get off the field. And I suppose, you know, we've spoken a lot this week about, you know, what happens when you do end up with these score lines against you, and you focus on your little things like getting off the field effectively, which France couldn't quite do on that occasion. It's almost like you started to chip away at the aggregate and see what happens. As Ethan Gallagher setting platform here, Gallagher feeding, getting the ball back, really good defensive touch.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point being critical of these score lines, but it is encouraging that there haven't been that many of them this weekend. You know, when you get a team like China travelling from where they've come from, you know, they're a developing nation, and they might be on the wrong side of a couple of results, but it's more like the odd nation that is the newest to the competition, who might, you know, when they face England, struggle, whereas previously, of course, it's been England racking up these sort of results across the board. I mean, when was the last time a French team was on the end of 18 English tries?
Yeah, it does not happen very often, although over the past 2 years, there's been a certain difference maker appearing on the field. Ethan Gallagher with a lovely delay of pass, hitting Zach Slade, running a very nice delayed line.
I've just seen in the coaching box below us that one of the French staff has a clipboard in which he's tallying the tries, and it is starting a little bit to look like he's scoring a cricket match.
Yeah, that won't feel all too good, and neither will that early turnover. I think the body language of some of these French middles is just starting to turn a little bit dejected. And however, that's a really good defensive touch from Arthur Ferry.
Really strong touch. And it's important that we notice, that we comment on the fact that the French supporters are still chanting all the time, because there's still loads of talented French players out there that they want to support regardless of this one result. It doesn't define a franchise or a nation or indeed this 20s group.
No, I absolutely agree. It's just unfortunate that they're playing against some extremely talented English players, although I think unfortunately Will Stockdale giving away a penalty for a very small but noticeable nudge on Benjamin Braun after the ball had hit the floor. Short side raid, lovely link punish. Stockdale this time does make the touch.
Joseph Audaire, who is of course based in England as well, is representing France. Both Audairs here this weekend.
I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it over the on-pitch mics, but behind us, it must be the English women's 20s getting ready for their final game, because we are hearing barking and then two teams getting fired up. I believe that's the French women's 20s over on the far side as well. In the top corner of your picture. It's our final game of the day, and one that by all accounts is going to be played with a fierce competitive nature.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly hoping that it is a touch closer than this, without any offence to the French in front of us who've played so well.
Well, those two teams have gone tit for tat, haven't they, in their exhibition matches?
9-6 to England and then 7-5. 9-6 to France and then 7-5 to England the other way.
So this next one really is for all the Dolphin dollars. Will Stockdale getting up, making touches. And Arthur Ferry, 32 short, looking for an early release, potentially bouncing away from Pearce, although Pearce with a flick touch. Arthur Ferry's asking for a 6 more, I believe, although the referee's disagreeing. Ferry. Oh, it's almost taken, and England are trapped in defence for a moment. Theodore Tyler Lowe couldn't really help himself but have a go at the forbidden fruit, and France with a fresh set of 6.
Look, what a positive end to this game for France. They've not let the head drops at all here, and they've got England camped on their try line.
Absolutely, they have. Open side quickie here. Alice Pearce with a good touch.
Gosh, flew out there. Wasn't even in picture when Alois Nicole got started.
A roll ball restart. Sideline ref just having a very quick chat. Again, open side quickie, lovely feedback away. And it's play on and play through. And Lilian Tatar gets a score, and it's fully deserving of it. It's been brilliant so far.
So they have scored 18 tries against England in their 3 games now. They've been very consistent with their scores. 6 in each fixture. They've conceded more and more each time, but there are positives to take away from this series for France. Absolutely. Especially that opening game, which was really competitive.
Yeah, completely agree. It's Archie Devlin. Just stutter stepping, feeding over towards Rory McAuliffe. Then there's Conahan. Conahan avoiding the touch, looking to feed and just rip to the wing. And again, very little touches taken. Superman finish in the corner. The referee's going to wave through. What a brilliant finish that was. And Tyler Lowe over on the far side getting over.
Another good score. That's such a nice finish. The dummy as well, just to buy himself an extra second. Must have panicked when he saw that the Frenchman didn't buy it, but he still managed to finish.
Yeah, well, he's a very long boy, is Theodore Tyler Lowe. If you could build a men's open winger, or at least a men's 20s winger, it probably looks something like Tyler Lowe. And he has very selfishly got his 16th now, no longer on 15 for the number 15.
That's a fine. Courts interception again, look at him go.
Oh, Harry Courts, does he have the pace? On foot, what a diving touch that was. A phenomenal bit of effort play from Benjamin Braun late on in this game.
What a talisman that is for France. You've got to look at someone like Benjamin Braun if you're in this French team and think, my word, you're still going 100%, aren't you? 2.5 minutes left in the tournament.
Yeah, speaking of going 100%, here's Ethan Gallagher. Steadying the ship, fitting open towards Zach Slade. Gallagher getting in acting half, picking back against the grain, escaping his way into the goal area. Late switch away. And they won't stop Harry Courts this time. Gets another score on the board. And there is 20 for England.
I mean, I don't know about you, Joe. It's the biggest score I've seen on the tournament so far. I did see England win 17-1 in the 15s yesterday, but I mean, this is unbelievable. The most tries scored across 40 minutes.
Just uncompromising standards, isn't it? You know, series wrapped up nice and neatly, although it's your last game, you save your best till last, and 20 is as comprehensive as you could possibly ask for with 90 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, time to tell me who your player of the match is, Joe, so I can go pick them out.
Well, it's not only that, is it? It's player of the series. And a part of me wants to veer away from the boys representing the men's open. I think as things stand, it's hard to look past the top try scorer, Theodore Tyler Lowe. But what are your thoughts on it, Will?
Like
You've obviously seen some of this as well.
I like that a lot. I think there's an expectation of the guys who are from the men's open to come and perform. So I think it is, you know, it would be nice for someone who hasn't had quite as much senior experience to be recognised. I think that's a good shout.
Yeah, I completely agree. As one of these men's open players goes flying through, fixes his hat before dotting the ball down.
Yeah, the question is it Tyler Lowe or is it Harry Courts for me? Because he scored some brilliant long-range efforts. Although Tyler Lowe's finishing in close quarters has been really special. I don't know, it's going to be a tough choice. Maybe we hand it over to the coaching staff to maybe make that choice for us.
Yes, I quite like that, because it's a very difficult decision, and one that I'm not too sure I'm the most qualified to make.
I like Harry Courts. I think I've seen him play
Yeah.
really well and do some really cool stuff. I mean, we should recognise both wingers, but I mean, in this game especially, you know, Harry Courts was banging the tries in early in this fixture.
Yeah.
You know, while it was still competitive, whereas some of Tyler Lowe's tries have come once the game was done. Maybe that's only the thing that splits them.
And to be fair as well, there's probably a shout for Rory McAuliffe as well, wearing number 6, stepping up into the middle channels. As the final hooter goes, and 21-6 in favour of the England men's 20s is as commanding a victory as you could possibly hope to see. Dominant performance. There's a lot of positives to take from this French men's 20 side. Again, the consistency of scoring in each of these games, each of these test matches, but in the end it was relatively straightforward, and now all of the handshakes are made in the right vein. Harry Courts coming over, shaking hands, small exchange of words. And then what's nice as well is that once these test matches are finished, everyone's friends again. Our penultimate game is wrapped up nice and neatly. England 21, France 6, 3 test matches played out in this category, 3 test match victories for England. The young players in the men's open stepping into the men's 20 setup and being those guiding figures for a lot of the more younger players. The players who haven't quite had that Opens international experience. I'm thinking almost immediately of Archie Devlin, Ethan Gallagher, Sam Dixon, Will Stockdale, Oliver Simon, providing platforms for young players, imparting wisdom and experience, and often just platforming for some of the more young dynamic talents. And what an amazing thing to see the young wingers getting over consistently for scores. Theodore Tyler Lowe and Harry Courts, 2 players who we really couldn't decide between in terms of MVP of the series. There's obviously the expectation for the more common names that you'll see here to go and perform, and they've done exactly that. Over to Wilf down at pitch side, where I think he's talking to Harry Courts.
Well, we're here alongside Harry Courts, who quickly, you've got to get over there and get in that huddle and then come straight back. They're just going to let them finish their... you can turn and have a look, don't worry, it won't bite. We're going to turn and have a look at their last little moment. And now I'm sure he'll come straight back. So, Harry, we've pulled you over because you have been named the player of the series. Congratulations for that. I mean, the try-scoring exploits off the charts, but also, you know, we wanted to select a player who perhaps hasn't yet stepped up all the way into the men's open. I mean, how's it been having all these guys come back from the Euros and, you know, in some ways take charge of the squad?
Yeah, no, it's so good to have a group of boys with so much experience. And our second to last camp before this tournament, we had a camp with the men's open, so it's good to get around them, learn some stuff from the more experienced players, and then the boys coming back from the Euros gold really gave the team strength from within that we could push off from.
Do you know what I loved individually, Harry, was once the game had finished, England were all heading off to the sideline to celebrate. You were still shaking hands with the rest of the French players, and then, even though you've put 20 points on the board, you came and said hello to all of the referees and had a full-on conversation about, well, I mean, what were you talking to the referees about just at the end there?
It's been a long weekend for them as well, and it's just about the communication, and so they can get on the same page, so they can get better for the future tournaments as well.
Well, it's just unbelievable, Harry, that's what's happened. You know, you finished the game, you've played 40 minutes, you have scored 20 plus points in total as a team, and you're still thinking about where next touch could improve. I mean, it's pretty special. You know, what kind of drives that mindset within the England camp and within yourself? What sort of is your motivation behind always looking to improve?
Well, it's just about stepping up into the senior squads from here. So I know all the boys that play touch on such a regular basis, the end goal is to play for that men's open squad and tour with them like some of the boys just did, and having the boys just tour gives the rest of the group that it inspires the rest of the group to go and want to play in that squad as well, so that's where the motivation comes from.
One final question just before you miss the rest of the festivities here. Just how excited are you to be part of this England setup, which continues to take home goals, which continues to win European titles, and which, with everything that's been spoken about the Federation, might be off to Australia, it might be taking in part more and more tournaments. Just how fun is it to be part of England Touch and part of Touch as a whole right now?
It's so good. It's such a different skill set to every other version of rugby, and it's just it's about making touch in Europe better so we can go and compete down south with the bigger touch playing countries.
Harry, thank you so much. Have an excellent rest of your day, and well played as well. I'll let you head over. So you've managed still to pick me out. Thanks for that. Great to chat to Harry Courts, of course, one of the best players in this England side, but there are, of course, so many other stars to look out for. As you can see, the French are being welcomed through their tunnel, which is even slightly longer than England's, don't you know, because out of those tunnels come the England women's 20 side, and the French will soon appear the other way, because we have one last game to bring you here live at the University of Warwick for the university. Fantastic hosting of this event. Just one last fixture here at the European Youth Touch Championships. It's the women's 20s gold medal match. They're currently 1-1 in the series, and I'll chuck you back to Joe Wright, who I'll join in just a moment.
Thank you very much, Will. Only 5 minutes until this final game of the day. The women's 20s action. National anthems imminent. 2 massive tunnels for both players to run through. Really demonstrating how deep this quality runs through. England and France, 1 victory each in this series so far. England team steeped in ability that we've seen not only represent their team at the NTS series, but also represent universities. The university series providing as a wonderful avenue for player development. We will leave you with the national anthems, and the action will be underway in just a few moments' time.
England, please stay upstanding for the French national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, France versus England, the women's 20s coming up in a couple of minutes.
So it all comes down to this then, just one more game live here at the European Youth Touch Championships 2026, and it is such a perfect way to end. 2 teams stacked with women's open experience, now down at the under-20s level, which tells you everything you need to know about just how young the very top talents are in Europe at the moment. These 2 sides have faced each other 3 times in total. England started with an early win, then they were beaten by the French, French, and then France came back and were beaten by England. So it's 2-1 at the moment. France had to go through an extra game in order to reach this final against Wales. They put them to the sword. They're in great form. We'll be underway in just a few seconds' time, so I'll chuck you back up to Joe Wright for one last time here at the University of Warwick.
Thank you, Wilf. England taking on France in our final game of the day. A magical tournament from start to finish that has set the astronomical standards for what junior touch has to offer. There's Leah Martin Mendez-Lopez wearing 14, one of the talismans of the women's open side for France in Vichy just a few weeks ago. Martin Mendez-Lopez not used, inside option here, escaping into the in-goal area, looking to connect with Martin Mendez-Lopez was Blun Levesque. And that'll be given 6 more, another line attack opportunity for Levesque and Martin Mendez-Lopez. Just settling the storm for a moment. Levesque, Martin Mendez-Lopez. Short side quickie here for Martin Mendez-Lopez, coming back against the grain. Levesque choosing not to use it for now. Here is open side quickie here. Levesque this time does feed Martin Mendez-Lopez, but a really good snipe from Link, although offside penalty called against Kerrish Rowlands. Operating out of Chester, really good line speed defence. Kerrish Rowlands getting up, putting pressure on, and then we get our first turnover. England with a defensive shutout. B. Graham spearheading the line speed, followed in suit by Kerrish Rowlands. And we're off to the subset for England. There's Tamani Kambabi. And then Libby Steele, team manager of England men's 50s. Phenomenal player, co-captain is Steele. We've had the pleasure of commentating her at almost every event England has to offer. Danger opportunity here, Maya Matheson. Oh, lovely scoop. Tilly Palmer-Denning feeding. Quick hands from Libby Steele. Not quite executed on this occasion, but a first opportunity. Tilly Palmer-Denning honing a trade in Horsham and then moving over to Nottingham whilst at university. An opportunity here for early transition from France. Just losing a little bit of momentum going into touches 3 and 4. These games being played by all accounts at a ferocious standard, and there's a fair bit of speed on display. Trying to create inroads down the far side, physical touches coming in. Nice skip pass. Absolute meters on the pass, well marshalled by Freya Betts, but England have got to be wise to the long ball threat from France.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, Joe, up here. It's been a great tournament for Freya Betts. I mean, 11 tries already, the top scorer, but big tries as well, not just dotting it down in open space. She's been really impressive in defence too.
Yeah, and you'll also recognise Freya Betts and Tilly Palmer-Denning from Nottingham Touch Talks Instagram, going through loads of interviews. 2 absolute characters and very good friends getting to share the pitch here. Open side quickie again for France, just steadying the ship for a moment is Levesque wearing 13. Levesque in an acting half, picking against the grain, inside trail, well marshalled by England, and that one's been given ball down, and turnover again. Anna Cook making a good defensive intervention.
Yeah, a bit of a touch dynasty in France, isn't it, the Levesques? So much talent on show by Blue-Anne Levesque, who of course steps up into the senior categories, in the open categories too, and the father, of course, big performance operator there. A huge part of how quickly France are improving.
Yeah, completely agree. And I think as well that this French women's 20 side, I mean, has one of the best touch players that France has to offer operating with them in Leah Martin Mendez-Lopez. A very good point made by you earlier on. Just how talented this French women's open side is, that you've got so many of them here in the women's 20s. There's lovely manipulation in the midfield from Elsa Claes. Oh, picking up against the grain, looking to rip long, connecting with the wing. It just falls ever so short of the 37, Sarah Guittard. Again, warning signs for England. They're not really able to get out of their half at the moment.
Yeah, this is really impressive stuff from France. I mean, it's been back and forth. They were basically playing against each other for a third and final time to see who has to avoid the extra semi-final game to reach this gold medal match. And they did beat Wales by 11 tries to 2, France, in that playoff game, but you know, an extra 40 minutes in the legs might have made an impact, but not showing so at the moment.
Absolutely not, especially for Alice Scherer. Diving touches, bringing Cara Edwards to a halt, and now France going through their subset. It's been a long old tournament for both of these teams. However, the intensity certainly hasn't dropped. Good defensive pressure from Tamani Kambabi and Freya Betts. And now it's France's opportunity to turn the ball over back into English hands, and England with line attack sets. There's Annie Ainscote. And this near side link, Cara Edwards and Kambabi in the midfield. Kambabi wrapping round, danger signs here. Tamani Kambabi connecting with the wing, and it's well finished. There's a bit of contact on the far side. Almost down in time.
What a tournament Tamani Kambabi's having. 10 tries already for England. She's been their most impressive middle, I think, which, given just how strong this side is a really impressive statement.
Could not agree more. Ransfield and Kambabi. And Betts just trapped behind the gain line there. Really good covering touch from France. Freya Betts getting up, initiating the first touch, followed in suit by Ainscote.
Well, Leah Martin Mendez Lopez doesn't have loads of English, but she had enough there to let the referees know she wasn't too pleased.
Yeah, I mean, benefits as well. We've got some brilliant Australian referees on field and saying that you never had control because it bounced off of the English player back into your hands, which I think is a very fair call, and also brilliantly articulated by the on-field refs. That pass from Kambabi just a little bit too far in front of Ainscote for her to make anything of it. And now we'll see if France can roll through their subset more effectively than the previous one.
This is tough. 6.5 minutes in, they're really going for it, but also the temperature, I think, has just peaked for the day, which is unbelievable at 20 past 4.
Yeah, I mean, I hope everyone here's got their sun cream on, because the cloud cover has very quickly disappeared, and almost instantly we've gone up 5 or 6 degrees. Big defensive touch from Kambabi. Scoring opportunities here at a premium for France, although Levesque's looking to make something happen. Lovely inside check. A turnover ball here for England. Louisa Samble getting involved with a transition. Young player, sister of Charlie Samble. And I'll tell you what, if Louisa Samble gets an opportunity to run full length of the pitch, you would be very silly to bet against her. Absolutely rapid player. There's Anna Cook, speaking of rapid players. Lovely ball opportunity, fresh set of 6 for Tilly Palmer-Denning, Anna Cook and co. There's B. Graham. First opportunity to commentate B. Graham was at the University Series, where she won for Bath against Exeter, the first time they managed to do it in the University Series. B. Graham, a player with bags of playing ability and also bags of potential. Rowlands, Graham, back to Rowlands, coming down now in front of Palmer-Denning, trying to engage these links. Palmer-Denning feeding over towards B. Graham. Graham caught. Good defensive work.
And a strong touch family too, the Grahams. And also so much potential in and around. I think that's what people might forget watching a game of this standard, is that this is no way near these players' peaks.
No, completely. I could not agree more. So young, so talented. There's so many more playing opportunities available as well as B. Graham. Lofts a ball through a lovely link hole. And Anna Cook goes flying through, and France switch off on 5th. And Graham and Cook chef up a score.
That's Cook's first try of the tournament, don't you know, according to the official Federation statistics.
Well, she certainly deserves more if those are the lines that she's carving off the ball. And it's a lovely attacking set from England. Getting over as Anna Cook, and now Leah Martin Mendez Lopez finds herself back in familiar line attack territory, working with Rose Jubal. Leah Martin Mendez Lopez diving at the line, trying to get over the covering touch of Cara Edwards, but again, Edwards family been around the block a fair few times. Leah Martin Mendez Lopez feeds the extra pass, gets it back. I think it bounced forwards. There's a wry smile on the face of the French number 14. Turnover ball.
Yeah, still though, good shape from France. Only one try in it, although a big shutout, because once you score, you know, you're more likely to concede.
And it's that old saying in touch, it doesn't count unless you D it out, and England have done exactly that. 10 minutes gone.
I like that. Bring that one up more often.
All right. Your wish is my command, Wolf.
What a game this is shaping up to be. I mean, it's lower scoring than the previous fixtures that we've seen 10 minutes in, but it's just real quality, and they're emptying the tank here, which is exactly what you expect. Oh, Cook, what a first half she's having.
Absolutely. I really like the look of this pod with Cook and Maya Matheson involved as well. Matheson obviously honing her trade down in the southwest of England, Galaxy Southwest. Stalwart, really. Benefiting from playing alongside some of the most talented touch players that England has to offer, and Maya Matheson really showing her attacking chops here.
Can you be a stalwart if you've only had 2 seasons?
Well, you're a stalwart of a club that was only been around for 2 years.
Yeah, fair enough. Real talent down there in the southwest.
Palmer Denning diving at the line. Good defensive touch. It was Maud Lebihan.
Look, I know there's some varying opinions about Galaxy expanding into the southwest, but I just think, you know, you've got to acknowledge how much talent there is at Exeter and Bath for those universities, and those players want to play touch all year round. And you know, careers are a thing. You know, friends and family are a thing. You've got to go where what's right for you, and there should be good touch everywhere in the UK, which we're pretty close to getting 100% coverage. So, yeah, you know, fair play to Galaxy. They're willing to help English touch grow by expanding into the region. I think why not continue the Saxons with their first title?
Yeah.
You know, this season is great to see.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also the rejigging of the touch calendar, allowing those players at university to represent the region in which they're currently living in, which is an absolutely magical thing. And again, yeah, as you say, Galaxy Southwest getting their first victory. Touch is growing in England, and it's showing no sign of stopping.
It just feels like every decision that England touch make is in the interest of growing the sport. And you know, you'd think saying that's fairly obvious, but you know, for fans of other variations of rugby or indeed other sports at the moment, that isn't the case. So I think we should take for granted just how hard England touch work to continue the sport moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's really highlighted as well, not only the work that England Touch is doing, but the other touch federations. That obviously we've got the 15s category for the first time ever at this Youth European Championships. It's showing that the sport is going from strength to strength.
Yeah, you know, Chris Simon's already touched on the Welsh team and how well they're working, and their 15s both made gold medal matches and came very close to toppling England. And you know, this French women's team are absolutely unbelievable. They've already beaten England once, which not many teams do.
I mean, as we saw in the game prior, France, well, they've had England's number already today. They'll be looking to replicate the success of the boys' 18s here in the women's 20s.
Must be frustrating for France that of the 4 fixtures, that one wasn't on the live stream.
Yeah, I would completely agree. Is Louisa Samble, one of the younger players in the side, operating at the far wing position. Again, it's a case of if you're good enough, your age doesn't really matter. Louisa Samble positioning into this near side link channel. Lovely shape on the pass to Cara Edwards, and Louisa Samble has to go and collect that one in. Can't quite do it on this occasion. Sister of Charlie Samble, I'll have you know as well.
Yeah, the Sambles have both been brilliant, and you know, a younger player, but I actually think Louisa Samble has been one of the most exciting players to watch in this England side. Yeah,
I completely agree. I've watched her play at the NTS. I've also seen her carve through teams with the sheer foot speed that she possesses. One of the fastest players out here. That is, you know, without question. It's an exciting time for young touch players, getting opportunities to show out here against their peers. Leah Martin Mendez Lopez, lovely late check away towards Levesque. Leah's off on a marauding run, but is caught expertly by Poppy Riddleston.
Yeah, Riddlestone's another player who you know, shouldn't go unnoticed in this English team. Sorry, there's so much talent, but yeah, really underrated performances from Riddlestone. She's been brilliant.
I mean, every single one of these players out here for the women's 20s is showing that they're perfectly capable of operating at the highest level, and also the next natural progression for a lot of these is Women's Open, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of Women's Open players worried that these are going to come and try and take their spot away from them.
And they should be too. I mean, it's tough though for that Women's Open category. There's no disrespect to the men's side of the game, of course, but the dominance that England showed at the Euros in that women's category was remarkable, and these English players are just so fantastic, and there's so much depth. The 18s completely ran away with the division, and this 20 side, you know, this is a very close to one of the strongest French teams you can actually put out, regardless of the division, and they're still on top here at the moment.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's an area of England touch that I know that they pride themselves on, is fleshing out the Women's Open's pathway and making sure that they are also always bringing in new young talent, really emphasised by the growth of the sport across the nation, and you're seeing it come to its fruition here. And France need to find a little bit more go forward. Elsa Claes looking to make something happen. Delay pass finding Claes, but Kerish Rowlands making a good defensive touch.
Yeah, this is a low score, isn't it? 15 minutes in, just one try. One of the lowest scoring games I've seen of the day. The only other one that springs to mind is the boys' 15s, which was 1-0 at half-time to England against Wales. Really a sign of just how strong these two teams are and how evenly balanced they are as well.
Well, I think also it's a common thing that you get in test matches, isn't it? If you've had the first two, and it's one each, and then the third one is for all the marbles, and you start to worry about small mistakes making a difference. So I imagine the emphasis from the coaching staff has been to shore up defensively and make sure that there's no mistakes and no misreads, and defences are just coming out on top.
Yeah, it's just a different way to experience touch and a different area of the game to appreciate. We've had enough tries in the last game.
Yeah, it's a chess match, isn't it? This is what we're seeing now. Last game was checkers, this is chess. Lovely right foot step, accelerating through. All scoring opportunities here for France on the outside edge, but Louisa Samble was materialised out of nowhere to slam the door in the French face.
Yeah, wasn't even in shot, and that was on the wide angle that we've got for you too, so really impressive.
There's Libby Steele, honing her trade down in Loughborough. Men's 50s team manager as well is Libby Steele.
I mean, that is fantastic, isn't it? Just to have someone, one of the younger players coming through the pathway, but also to have an interest in supporting, a team like the men's 50s who, let's not forget, are the sort of heart and soul of touch and its origins. Those senior categories remain as important, and the reason why we live stream so many of those games at the Euros outside of the open categories is because it's a recognition of they're what make touch important and special, and as well keep the sport alive, because England constantly trying to grow its involvement as well as other nations.
Absolutely, lovely pick up against the grain, unfortunately unable to connect. Cara Edwards was having a go, looking for Freya Betts on this near side wing. The French defensive spacing staying nice and tight, so England are kind of restricted to just trying to throw long, and at the moment the French have got their number.
Yeah, all that's missing, is France breaking forward, because I think as soon as that happens, England are going to be sparked into life maybe on the front foot.
Oh, that's the best strike platform we've seen so far. Martin Mendez-Lopez looking to throw long. It's a much better attacking setup from Claes, who got in behind the initial defensive press and set a good platform here for Martin Mendez-Lopez. Just didn't quite connect with the pass.
No, but it will click if they keep getting into positions like that. Against a team of this quality, you are going to need a couple of strikes at the line before your chance really opens itself. I mean, England had plenty of time in the French 7 before Cook was able to find that gap.
Yeah, Libby still driving through. Samble coming in at acting half. This is looking much more potent. Fifth touch platform here for Maya Matheson. Matheson tucks the ball, gets into the goal area. Tries to connect with Libby Steele. Nothing doing. There was a couple collisions off the ball.
How close was that from Matheson? And as you said, tucks the ball under one arm and just flies through. That is stunning stuff. Really deserved to score a scoop like that.
Yeah, 90 seconds left to go in this half so far. Only one score in it. Maya Matheson was looking to double the English lead. Not quite happening on this occasion though. And England look to put the nudge on defensively. Nice good drive. And France are slowly purring, although have to come back to the mark after just over-encroaching for a moment. Braust Marco, wearing 64, coming and getting involved off her wing. Scooping platform here, Levesque platforming. Stepping back towards Levesque. 3-on-2. Needs to execute. Inside check to Levesque, has just drifted forward. And 45 seconds left on the clock until half-time. I feel like the conversations in both sub-boxes will be forward-thinking focus, trying to create more attacking opportunities, finding that surgical incision, trying to create stress and strain on the opposing defensive line. Tamani Kumbabi flying through. There's Rowlands. There's Kumbabi once more. Lovely direct set here. B. Graham platforming here on 5th for Tamani Kumbabi. Oh, lovely right foot step from Rowlands. Up a diving touch. Brings that one to a close with seconds remaining. It's half time here. England 1, France 0 in a nail biter of a test series. The test decider between England and France in this women's 20. England obviously the more happy with their one score advantage. France with lots of good field position. We're not quite able to capitalise on it as of yet. Plenty of problem solving to do for both sides. Very low scoring affair. Defence is absolutely on top. You see here, it was Palmer Denning and B. Graham. Graham with a lovely lofted pass into the link channel, and it was Anna Cook hole crashing through the opening score, and it's that off the ball work that's really proving the difference maker. As of right now, as we see some very happy English supporters wearing some questionable outfits, showing up and showing out for their team.
From the information I've been told, if that is correct. So England's currently in the lead. Reminder when you are...
That's a composed English huddle over on that far side, spearheaded by the looks of it, Libby Steele. Going through some chats, trying to just impart some of her wisdom from playing touch for so long. And down on pitch side is Wilf. I think he's going to pick the brains of some of the French supporters.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, I'm here with Constant from the boys 18. Constant, thank you so much. I've caught him on the classic pilgrimage that all the fans do going across the field when it's time to change end. But Constant, a gold medal for France. Very impressive for you. I mean, just how happy are you to be here in Warwick? You know, how much do you enjoy coming abroad to play your touch?
Yeah, first of all, I'm very proud of the boys. We made a very good job together. We are such a great team, I think so. And last year we lost in Limerick during the drop-off. So we came here for the win, and we did it. I'm so happy of Warwick, the way it's organized, like planned every time, and that's so good.
Of course, I was commentating that drop-off actually in Limerick a year ago. It was an unbelievable game. A lot of those boys have moved on to the under-20s or to the men's open. You know, how is the pathway in France? You know, how easy is it to transition, to move from the 18s to the 20s to the open? Do you think?
We have a group of 6-7 players who stayed in the boys 18. So we try to keep the motivation, and I think there are 5 boys who come to the under 20, but we keep the volunteer to win, and that's worked, so I'm proud.
And just quickly, Constant, of course, this is the gold medal match for France. They're only 1 try behind. Are you confident that the French women can turn it around?
Yeah, obviously they are so good. I'm sure that they will win, no doubt.
Perfect. Thank you, Constant. Enjoy the rest of the game. Well, just brilliant to chat to those from all over the park, including Constant from the boys 18th, the France gold medal. But I'll chuck you back up to Joe right before the game gets back underway.
Yes, thank you, Wilf. Always nice to hear from the French supporting and French players. Obviously showing up here for their women's 20 side. Well, they find themselves 1 try down, and I was eavesdropping a little bit into the vibe that was being conveyed from the French support and the French coaching staff down below me, and it was all very calm, it was very composed, there was a lot of chat. It was just very mild-mannered, and then a very big celebration at the end, getting them fired up for the second half. It's about to get underway. Tamani Kumbabi with the tap. Tilly Palmer-Denning to her right-hand side in this right link channel. Freya Betts on one wing, Louisa Samble on another, who go through some thankless work operating on the wing consistently for the entirety of the game. Kamani Kambabi geeing up the rest of the team as well, and England matching the vibes. Louisa Samble over on the far side clapping and applauding. B. Graham as well. The vibes are immaculate here for England, and they'll be looking to get off to the races nice and early. And Wilf Kelmsley's joined alongside me again, and I saw your wry look to camera. Diabolical stuff.
Yeah, none of that. He knew exactly what he was doing. You know, before he went live, Constant told me he didn't have very good English, but I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
He certainly knew what he was getting out there.
Well, I think the French standard for very good English and the English standard for very good French are on completely different stratospheres.
Absolutely.
There's Kambabi operating with Maya Matheson. Matheson platforming of Kambabi. All of a sudden, the energy has picked up in this English attacking set. Maya Matheson driving, inside check to Kambabi. Leo Martin Mendez Lopez slams the door, says no thank you.
Yeah, that would have been a huge moment for England to score 30 seconds into the second half, given how low scoring it's been so far. Maybe they had a word at half-time, the England coaches, saying, look, now's the time to raise the energy.
Yeah, completely agree. I think as well that first half performance felt a little bit flat all round. I think there's an opportunity here to up the physicality level as Tilly Palmer-Denning puts the nudge on, forces the turnover. That's right out of the Nottingham playbook. Physical touches, Palmer-Denning, fizzing open side. Rowlands checking back towards Maya Matheson. Kambabi to Rowlands. Much nicer interplay for this English Women's 20 side. Maya Matheson just staying alive for Louisa Samble. So she has someone to check away to. And here's Anna Cook. Try scorer Anna Cook. B. Graham back to Anna Cook. Cook diving at the line. 6 touch and change. Good defensive work from France.
What do you make of this coaching staff as well, that England 20s have got a smaller team than some of the sides, but Archie Shaw is the head coach with Theo Edwards, who of course was looking after the men's 30s at the Euros, and BB Pullis as well, who was playing at the Euros as well.
Well, you couldn't really ask for many more, playing prowesses there. Players representing their countries left, right and centre. And I think it's a really good mark of a young squad when you've also got young coaches, sport development isn't just about the playing staff. The playing aspect is it? It's also about the coaching staff and the physios and everything else that goes on behind the scenes. So great to see young coaches out here showing their tactical chops in this women's 20s team.
Yeah, I think we often don't give the coaches perhaps the shout out that they require, but Joe, you know just how important a good coaching staff is, especially at this stage of the tournament. It's about motivating you, it's about making the right decisions, about making the right changes, because with the talent of these English and French teams, a lot of those decisions are made independently, so the coaches have got to get that balance right.
Yeah, and it's also tempering the changes as well, as we see Levesque goes through, walks the tightrope on the far side. The referees are happy, and France reply, Levesque. And it felt like it was going to be Levesque just ghosting through. England defaulting to a good bit of Mirror's defence. Levesque was looking for the supporting player. It was a lovely fading line from Erin Wilms, and gets the ball down, and we're back all square.
Try number 7 in 7 games for Erin Wilms. Very impressive record, and yeah, Blue Anne Levesque, I can't believe how much time she had in that try zone.
Yeah, it was magical work, finding space. Nice instinctive stuff as well. It's Cara Edwards diving at the line. Edwards scoring, and like London buses, we've been waiting for so long, and 2 tries come very quickly.
Yeah, the Edwards have got some real influence on this side, on either side of the playing staff and the players themselves.
Yeah, lovely open side quickie, diving at the line, ball's down first. Referee is right there, you can see it in shot.
It's another family of seriously impressive touch players. I still think it should happen one day. Just get every family in touch rugby together, and we'll just play a big old tournament and see who comes out on top.
Well, if you start to invite Ireland down, you're going to get the Finnans and the Somervells rock up as well, and I'd be paying very good money to be on their team, not lining up against them. Arguably the only touch family that could rival those would be the Simons, of course.
Well, the Levesques, the Gills.
Yeah, yeah, the Gills. So many of them.
The Travis Scotts from Scotland. Give the youngsters a couple of years to develop, and Yeah, it could be really opportunistic.
Absolutely, the trays as well.
Oh,
if you want to
absolutely.
keep going through talented sibling pairs.
Maybe just Leah Martin Mendez Lopez and the rest of the family who don't need to play touch. Do it at once.
She's so good. Speaking of Leah Martin Mendez Lopez, again picking the right option, just didn't quite have the length on the pass that was needed. 5 minutes gone already into this second half, and the scoring has certainly opened up. There's B. Graham strolling forward, just opening the stride lengths up and purring through the ground that was in front of her. Libby Steele latching well. Louisa Samble coming far off the wing to come in and acting half, endangering opportunities. There's a lovely platform here for Maya Matheson. Matheson being told to play through. She does exactly that. Penalty, fresh set of 6. Maya Matheson and Anna Cook will have another crack at the line. And Matheson. Tap restart. Open side quickie here for Anna Cook, stepping over the ball, diving at the line, well marshalled. Just having a very quick word with Libby Steele over on that far side. Matheson. Cook, back to Matheson. Matheson, dummying, now feeding Steele. Steele ghosting over. Co-captain's contribution, and Maya Matheson, the play before, told Libby Steele, stay out there. Next play, finds her.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? When you're instructing on the fly, it's a real skill set for middles and links to have, and when it comes off, well, there's no better feeling, is there?
Great shot as well of that diving score from Libby Steele. You can see the hole opened up and Steele goes through.
It's a huge moment now, 3-1 on the board, and first time we've had a deficit that big. It just goes to show what you're saying in the first half is true, Joe. If you score and you shut out your opposition, like England have done again here, it makes such a difference compared to scoring and getting replied straight away, like France apparently let happen. But another opportunity for the French here.
Absolutely, an opportunity to bring it back to a one-score game. Just steadying the ship for a moment. So France slowing the play down a little bit. Annie Ainscough just being asked to advance a little bit further forward and just asking questions of the sideline ref. On-field action continues. Annie Ainscough asking to make a good touch. She does exactly that. French keep knocking on the door. Elsa Claes. Claes driving, early release on the wrapping option. 5th touch here. Sheher has to come back to the mark. Claes feeds into the link channel, but Ainscough making a really good defensive touch. Annie Ainscough, again another one of these players out of the northwest, now honing her craft elsewhere in the country, further down south. Edwards strolling through the yards on offer. Ainscough, lovely check away. Dummy towards Louisa Samble from Riddleston. Samble now working hard to get in an acting half. Lovely late check away to Rowlands. Samble again going through some very industrious work in an acting half. Samble scooping, driving. Rowlands looking for the late pass away. Ball down, 6 and change.
Well, this is an interesting period of the game, isn't it? Feels like France need the next score, given how close it's been. Otherwise, it could get away from them.
Yeah, they certainly do need the next score. It's a really good first touch drive. Getting up towards the box side now. A little bit stop-start. A good touch coming in from Freya Betts. And there's a bobble on the roll ball. Although, on-field refs happy to let this one play. And the sideline certainly wasn't. And France scooping, stepping, avoiding, ball down and turnover. Really good defensive work from England. They're doing a good job at seeing off the French attack. It feels like this French line attack set could just do with a little bit more disguise about it. Back to ball playing is Kumbabi, feeding over towards B. Graham. Rowlands to Louisa Samble. Samble, no mistake at the roll ball. Louisa Samble has to go through a little bit more work. However, unfortunately, just stepping out of the field of play for a moment. Midfield turnover here for France. 9 minutes gone in this second half. France just need a little bit of that cutting edge that we've seen from many of the French teams. Unfortunately, though, that turnover won't help them. Libby Steele, get us back underway.
This is strong from England because it's a very long few days of touch that's coming to an end in just 10 or so minutes time, and still they've got a power on here against a very strong French side. They're still making yards, they're still locking them out.
Super professional performance so far. as professional as you could possibly ask for. Open side quick here for Libby Steele. Maya Matheson picking up against the grain. Dummy and getting into the in-goal area, looking to connect with Sambal. Louisa Sambal does get the ball down, but not before she stepped out of the field of play.
Oh, that's a shame. It was such a good line cut there. A couple of options really for England. Very impressive attacking movement.
Yeah, and Louisa Sambal, I'm probably surprised herself with her own pace there and realised she couldn't quite get the ball down, although there'll be another opportunity. And Maya Matheson again turning towards Palmer Denning and just imparting some words. Maya Matheson, Governor General in this pod. Anna Cook, back to Maya Matheson. Just accepting the touch. I imagine that Maya Matheson may just condition this short side a little bit and then go open to Palmer Denning and back to 2-on-1 with her and Louisa Sambal. Link punish for Libby Steele. Maya Matheson feeding Steele. Steele trying to dive at the line. It's just knocked loose by the French defence. Charlotte Tonso with a good touch. Still a couple left to play with. Third, fourth coming. And now we see England maybe look to spread it a little bit further. Cook, Steele, Matheson, off the bootlaces. Matheson looking to throw long, but it's picked up on the far side. Forward pass, but it's well taken regardless. From the far side winger. It was Sarah Guittard over there. The crucial defensive intervention for France. Late check away, playing around the press of Matheson. And good hands-on offer and good roll ball skills as well. Now driving into the midfield. Now France, Leah Martin Mendez-Lopez, late inside check. Good platforming opportunity. Inside again to Martin Mendez-Lopez. Fifth touch, open side quickie, not used. Play on calls. Play on still, connecting, and it is 3-2. And very quickly, Maud Le Behan getting over, great recognition, play on call. Scherer driving through. We're back to a one-score game.
Yeah, sixth try for Maud Le Bihan, another player with open experience for the French national team at the Euros on home soil a couple of weeks ago in Vichy. And France needed that next score. We said it. The game was just starting to lull. They were frustrated, both sides, I think, with how they were being defended, and that's huge for France, but they have to do what they couldn't do last time they scored, and that's keep England out from halfway.
Yeah, Cara Edwards, open side quickie, gets it back from Poppy Riddleston. Cara Edwards diving, Cara Edwards not quite getting over. Fifth touch is brought up. And Riddleston checking into the link channel, and again on fifth, France switch off. This time Sophia Rance getting over, although no they won't. He's coming back for a forward pass. Heartbreaking moments. Riddleston had looked to release Rance into a dangerous area, but the referee's whistle.
What a reaction from the French box just below us when that decision was made. They cheered like it was a score, and that's exactly how it must have felt for France.
Yeah, they know a two-try deficit with the way that England have defended. It's a bit of a tall order, especially going into the latter stages of this second half, this gold medal match. Marta Mendez-Lopez, forward pass. A tap restart.
England still look pretty threatening here, though. You know, it's going to take something special for France to equalise, and in a gold medal match, despite the fact they've played each other a few times, we will go to a drop-off.
Karis Rowlands driving forward. Barbie, back to Rowlands. Link punish here for Karis Rowlands. Instead, it's a fire-up option. Maya Matheson driving, escaping through the press for a moment. Diving touch brings Maya Matheson back to the mark. This brings up the fifth. And France have got to learn from their previous mistakes and not switch off on fifth touch. And the ball finds the floor, turnover, 6 minutes left to go. It's a one-try game. Marta Mendez-Lopez looking to help spearhead her side off the field effectively. Barking orders to her compatriots. Clace it was, driving forward. Braust Marco has to go through some staunch work to get off the wing and act as half. This is danger signs. Braust Marco claims the ball. Brings the throw open, but Rowlands with a good defensive touch.
Strong defence here, and time seeping away, not just on this game, but on the Euros, on the Youth Euros, with our final game still to be played. It feels like we had so much drama today that this game might just end with England in control.
Well, I don't know about you, Wilf, but I'm going to need a days of rest and recovery after this, because my heart has taken a little bit of a beating considering the amount of adrenaline that's run through it and some of the games that we've had here today on live stream, finishing with a proper chess match of a game between two sides. And to be fair, he's probably expected for this to be quite low scoring. So you play against someone 2 times already. You become familiar with the attacking threats and the systems as Leo Martin Mendes Lopez gets on the open side quickly. Flash pass into the link. However, Freya Betts up making good defensive touches.
You better brush it off pretty quick though. We've got the Junior Nationals in 2 weeks, of course, live on Next Gen from Nottingham.
Yeah, we'll be there bringing you all of that, and it's so funny, isn't it? You know, you got the Junior Nationals right round the corner. We'll be seeing so many of these players represent their regionals at the Junior Nationals, but not only that, we get to have a look at potentially the next generation of young international talent coming through as Edwards goes for a maraud down the short side and brings up the 6 and change, kills it in a dangerous area for France.
And then, of course, the end of the season, the schools finals on September the 11th will hopefully still go ahead.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And it's schools final. Obviously, we were both there last year. It was magical, and we also get it's a moment of pride for us, isn't there, Wilf? Where in a few years' time, some of those schools players will be operating at the highest level touch has to offer, and we get to say we were there first, and we spotted them early doors.
Yeah, credit to England and to Fit, you know, for getting us in for these live streams. Obviously, I'm going to want Next Gen Live at all of our events, but we really do get to see them come from school to club to regional to national youths to nationals at the senior level. It's the whole journey across the touch spectrum live for you with the help of the Federation of International Touch in England for bringing us in.
Absolutely. It's a very important opportunity that we've had. There's a hips not square penalty. France with an opportunity. I tell you what, score here starts to look like a bit of a nail biter for England. Freya Betts up making good touches. Referee's happy with the contact. France certainly were not. Maud Lebihan to come back to the mark. Again, Rowlands getting up making good touches. B. Graham flying forward, asking for a crossing penalty. Nothing doing. Referee's happy. Martin Mendes Lopez. If anyone's going to unpick this English lock, it's probably going to be her, or at least she'll have something to say about it. Martin Mendes Lopez, 5th touch, scooping, accelerating, hitch kick step, getting into the in-goal area for a moment. But Tamani Kambabi with a diving touch to bring that French momentum to a grinding halt. Palmer Denning, straightening, platforming down here for Louisa Samble. Rowlands flying through the foot speed. Samble coming in acting half. There's Libby Steele. France are just rolling, reeling in defence. No line speed on offer at all, and it allows Cara Edwards a golden scooping opportunity, trying to take on Martin Mendes Lopez. Freya Betts with almost a world-class finish, but France crashed down on top of her. 2 minutes left to go, still a one-try game.
Yeah, France with a huge shutout. That is so important, but they've got to get up the other end here. 2 minutes to go. This is do or die now for France. I mean, they've put such a shift in, keeping the deficit down, but goodness, what a low-scoring game. Are they going to be able to create another chance with just 2 minutes on the clock?
Yeah, but they've certainly got the right people out on the pitch to do it. Bloan Levesque, this time platforming, danger, scooping opportunity, but Cara Edwards just watched it all the way. Elsa Claes couldn't quite find a way through.
The class is so dangerous, especially diving from close range. I mean, weaving on the inside is not really her specialty, but gave it a proper good go there. Yeah, Edwards looks so comfortable making that touch, despite the fact that it could be a game winner.
Yeah, Cara Edwards is a very cool customer, isn't she? We know her very well, commentating her for so long. Anna Cook, try score Anna Cook, that got us underway. Maya Matheson dummying, getting into the in-goal area for a moment, but then Claes again.
Well, this is it now, isn't it? Last roll of the dice for France. 1 minute of touch rugby left to go. They either get up the other end, or England are going to take another gold medal.
Have they got something up their sleeve to unpick this English defence? Tell you what, that catch was vital, otherwise England would have had a fresh set of 6 bang on the French defensive line. Freya Betts getting up, putting good defensive touches on, and all of a sudden the ball's tucked under one wing, and there's an opportunity here for Le Bihan. Le Bihan still going, weaving her way right and then left, coming back into the centre. Anna Cook with a really strong touch to bring that one to a halt.
Look, that touch from Cook might have just killed it. What a defensive intervention from the opening try scorer.
Yeah, Scherer though, 3 on 2, quick hands have to go for Freya Betts.
What a read from Freya Betts.
I mean, she might not like me for saying this, I know Freya Betts quite well. Specialist winger, always makes good touches, is barking orders all the time, counting touches, no mistakes defensively, finishes everything from an attacking perspective.
Well, look, she's top scored as well, which is what more can you ask from your winger?
Oh, and the final hooter goes, one last touch to be made, and that is all she wrote. England women's 20s win the gold medal match over France. The 3-test match series comes out white and red. Phenomenal performance, and what a wonderful game to see us out here at the European Youth Touch Championships.
Player of the match, who are we thinking?
Oh, it's the easiest decision of the day. It's Maya Matheson by a country mile.
Brilliant. Well, I'll get down there, Joe, and leave you to take in these seats.
Absolutely. England 3, France 2, full time. Maya Matheson spearheading her side through some very tricky moments, but they come through unscathed. Annie Ainscoe leading the handshakes here. An absolutely wonderful tournament encapsulated by our finals that we had all throughout this final day. English celebrations down in front of us. It's happy scenes for England. They've achieved what they wanted to. It's a young coaching staff, it's a young team. The next generation of women's touch players in England is an exciting one. And the celebrations continue for England. Libby Steele co-captaining, getting on the board. This was a wonderful score from France though, wasn't it? Walking the tightrope wonderfully and checking away. Levesque had a brilliant performance. But this was the one that was oh so dangerous. B. Graham and Tilly Palmer-Denning combining to make things happen. And Anna Cook ghosting through the gap. England just picked off their opportunities when the chances afforded themselves. And it was a dominant performance. A familiarly dominant performance, actually, from the women's setup in England. They've gone from strength to strength, whether it's 15s, 18s, 20s or opens. They pride themselves on their ability to take on all comers. And Wilf Kelmsey is down talking to our MVP of the match, Maya Matheson.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, we've come pitch side for one last time here to chat to Maya Matheson. Maya, congratulations. You are the player of the final. Such a brilliant performance. I mean, how does it feel to come through not just one, but multiple really tough fixtures against this French side?
Yeah, it feels pretty awesome. We were down against them yesterday and we kept that energy high. There was not a single moment in the box where the girls were at a low or you couldn't hear them on the live stream. It was incredible and I've never been with a more powerful team.
Well, interesting game. I mean, 1-0 at half-time, completely different to your other fixtures. What was that half-time team talk like? I mean, there wasn't that much to reflect on other than really good, strong defensive play.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the France girls are rapid. They're really good. They've got really good basic skills, and so do we. Our talk is basically just sticking to what we know, playing for each other, because that's what we do best. We can come back from anything with that. Yeah.
And the thing is, you were Joe Wright's pick straight away. There wasn't even a conversation. Such a strong game on both sides of the ball. You know, just how excited are you as an individual to be part of a side with this much talent, with this sort of women's open influence coming through as well? I mean, how excited are you to be playing for at least a couple more years with this group and then moving on into the big times, into the Euros?
Yeah, it's such a pleasure. Like, I've only just come from Singapore and playing with England has been probably the best experience I've had since moving here. And I don't know the system that England has really motivates everyone to do well. All of these girls are competitive. All of these girls have a shot at going to Opens and everything. So it's awesome to play alongside them, and the platform they give is incredible. So yeah.
And look, we've kept pretty stum about World Cup most of today, but we might be heading down, your part of the world sometime soon, heading towards the Southern Hemisphere, New Zealand, and lots of people are of the opinion that it is the English women's side who are the closest to the Southern Hemisphere teams. Is that a feeling that's replicated in the camp? I mean, they were so dominant in the Euros final.
Yeah, oh, for sure. The girls are so athletic. They really push you. I only just joined the women's, and they really push you to work harder. They run so hard, and I think they're going to tear it up. Yeah, the gap's closing for sure.
Maya, congratulations, well played. I'll let you join in with the rest of the celebrations. What a tournament it has been. I'm going to bring in Joe Wright for our closing conversation, but first I'm going to run you through every single winner from the Euros just off the top of my head, so please jump in if we get some wrong. Let's go. 15s categories in the boys competition. Heartbreak for Wales, who tried their hardest but just fell short. In the 15s women's, it was Wales again against England, who also fell short. 2 gold medals for England so far. The mixed 15s, perhaps the game of the entire tournament, a drop-off that France came through in the end to rob the first gold. That's 1 gold medal for France. Moving up to the 18s, we've got the girls 18s, which was a comfortable win for England, as it often is. What a talented team they are. So that's 3 gold medals for England, 1 for France. And then in the boys competition, well, that French team, they beat them in the pool stages and they grabbed their first gold for the 18s category. So 2 gold medals for France, 3 for England as things stand. The final 18s category in that mixed one, Ireland-England in the final, but England came through. That's 4 gold medals for England, 2 for France. And then, of course, we've got the 20s, the 3 final games of the day. Started off with the mixed 20s. What a game for Ireland. They avenged their teammates in the 18s and grabbed their first gold. So that's 4 gold for England, 2 for France, 1 for Ireland. In the boys competition, the test series was done and dusted. No medal there, technically, as it's a test match, but we'll add 1 more for England. And then finally, the girls at the very end, getting the job done. In France's strongest side on paper, they still managed to pull off a narrow win. So that's 5 golds for England, plus a test match series, 2 for France, 1 for Ireland, and a handful of silvers as well for Wales, who can't be ignored for their contributions to the 15s, and another silver for Ireland. I think that is the whole weekend wrapped up here at the University of Warwick. And Joe, 44 teams across 10 touch-playing nations, including a school in Singapore, for good measure, who also beat the nations of Ireland and France. What a storyline that is. There's so much to cover, but tell me, what's been your favourite game across all? 13 on day 1, 13 on day 2, that's 26, 11 on day, 9 on day 3, so that's 35 games of touch that you have commentated on. I'm on the same level. What's been your favourite game?
It's hard. I think from a sheer spectacle perspective, it's hard to look past the boys 18s final, but actually the one that invokes quite a lot of feelings was the opening game of day 1 that I had on pitch 2. It was Scotland mixed 15s versus China mixed 15s, and the reason why it lingers so long in the memory and sort of makes me feel a certain way is because it set the standard for what has been the most talented set of juniors I've ever seen at a Youth European Championships. I mean, the standard compared to when I was playing at this level of rugby is night and day. Even just looking at simple catch-pass skills, they're not so simple when you've got defenders running at your face. But yet that game was played with electric speed, beautiful accuracy. A mixed 15 side ran a double doggies tap-off move, which has only just been introduced into the opens categories. That will linger in the memory of something that's completely mind-blowing to me, and yet you shift focus into the older categories and that boys 18s game. I mean, I'm running out of words to describe that French side. Enzo Cortial's destined for big things. Chaffot is destined for big things. Anyone from that team could go on and represent opens categories for France, whether it's mixed or men's. It's really hard to pinpoint one, but from an emotional pinpoint, Scotland mixed 15s versus China mixed 15s, from a spectacle and what led to this very hoarse voice, the boys 18s final.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Actually 31 games commentated, because Chris Simon gave us 2 breaks a day. Let's not forget that. The workers' rights are strong at the Federation of International Touch. But that is over 70 games live streamed across this tournament. I mean, it's unbelievable to have that kind of coverage. We had another pitch at the Euros as well. We've done with England Touch as well, the Nationals, the club competition. We've done Bucks, weeks. We've got the junior nationals in a couple of weeks. We've got the schools final as well. I mean, we've had more touch rugby live streamed this year than ever in the history of the sport in Europe, and that is an indication of where the sport's going.
Yeah, and you talk about the wider growth of the sport. You've quite rightly brought up the amount of silvers that Wales have. You know, a nation that, I think it's fair to say, over the past few years, from a wider rugby landscape, has really struggled, especially with their infrastructure. It seems like touch is unaffected by that at the moment. Just got to shout out people like Gethin Harries coming and getting involved from a senior perspective, advising on how to grow the sport in Wales. That girls 15s team was amazing, came so close, but just got pipped at the post at the end. I think you look at the wider touch landscape, you also look at the amount of people who are hanging around here just to talk and chat and share experiences, whether it's from an Irish perspective, a Chinese perspective, Lebanese as well. There's the touch sport across the world is going from strength to strength, and it's showing no sign of stopping.
And look, we're touch rugby people, so we're not going to trivialise the issues of the world, but Lebanon being here, given the background of that region, is really special. China coming across, you know, the Cayman Islands, whose whole team is constructed out of one rugby club. They've got 80,000 people, and they almost knocked out Belgium, and they did beat Scotland in that mixed 18. You know, these are the narratives that people should be focusing on, and it's why we stream so many varied fixtures. You know, there is an argument that exists out there that we should be going, you know, especially at like a Euros event, it should be women's open, men's open, mixed open, women's open, men's open, mixed open. But actually, you do want to take in different games and different age groups. And, you know, I think the 15s categories possibly created the best narratives in this week. The Welsh women's side being fantastic, and you know, that French team taking England to a drop-off and then beating them after a try-saving touch in the corner from you know, from an England player. And I think that's what's special about touch, is they give that opportunity for people to impress. But yeah, I think the final question I want to ask is if someone is tuning in to this tournament, if they're supporting a friend, if they're supporting a family member, you know, if they've been enamoured by what's been happening here, you know, what would you say to them about how they get into touch, if they want to, you know, get their child playing youth level, or, you know, what do you think is the most encouraging thing you could say to them about whether or not they should give this sport a go?
Do it. Why not? Why not? Pick up a ball and play. That's the tagline that we've heard for years now. There's you know, and especially at a time from a juniors perspective where head knocks and concussions are so hotly, you know, clamped down on from a contact perspective. You know, you've got ambassadors for the sport like Benji Marshall, one of the best rugby league players of all time, coming out and saying if touch was a professional sport, he would have played touch rather than rugby league. Richie Mamunga, Lima Sopawanga also sharing those sentiments. You've got amazing rugby players who made a career with their ball playing ability. That all came from their time playing touch. And if that's not a really good advert for the sport and encouragement for anyone watching, thinking about getting their child involved, I don't know what is. You've got the Schools Cup, so you can play throughout your schools. I know that the University Series is now influencing people's decisions on where they're going to university, so they can continue to play touch. Your local clubs, you can go on the England Touch website and have a look at the local club finder. You'll find out where all your local clubs are. If you're anywhere near any of the big cities, there's going to be 3 or 4 for you to pick from, every single one of them priding themselves on bringing young people through this sport. If you're questioning, if you're worrying, if you're worried about being accepted, this is the most inclusive sport I've ever had the pleasure of being involved in, and to answer your question quite succinctly, just do it. What's the worst that could happen?
Thank you, Joe, for all your help throughout this week. So from myself, from Joe Wright, from Kit Sorgo, and from Lexi Johnson, and from all the team here at Next Gen Live, thank you so much for joining us for 70+ games of the European Youth Touch Championships. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for the Junior Nationals and maybe some even more exciting international developments beyond from the world of touch. But have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and stay tuned for more action with Next Gen Live and the Federation of International Touch soon.